It's Positive Tuesday today, July 28, 2020. I'm Ben Dryden, and you're watching DrydenWire Live. Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald will be joining me in about 30 seconds or so for another episode of Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy. Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy is presented by Embrace. Embrace is the leading voice in comprehensive advocacy services provider for survivors of domestic and sexual violence in the four-county service area of Barron, Washburn, Rusk, and Price counties. Embrace provides unwavering support to survivors. If you or someone you know is experiencing intimate partner violence or sexual assault, it's not your fault. Embrace is here to help. For free confidential advocacy and support, head to embracewi.org. Quick programming note. Tomorrow morning, former Wisconsin Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen will be my very special guest on DrydenWire Live. The chat is scheduled for 8:30 right here on our Facebook page. All right, we got a lot to talk about with our guest today. Back for another go with this. Please help me welcome in Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald. Fitzy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. We should have people like clap when I come on or something. Hurrah. Or we got to get some sound effects now.
I don't think you can hear it, but I did just make a clapping noise for you.
Okay. There you go. Thanks. Yeah. I appreciate it. At least I have one person that likes me. Good morning. How's it going with you? Why do I always got to, you have this great guest after me all the time? Like J.B. Van Allen, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He was a great supporter of law enforcement, and especially of Northwest Wisconsin. I mean, he took time and came to our meth town hall meetings and did a lot of things up here with meth in the Northwoods, and he's just a great guy. I have never spoken to him. No?
Nope, I don't know almost anything about him. I did just a little research this weekend, Wikipedia, and just, I didn't know when he was from. I guess he was a district attorney in Ashland County. Scott Walker appointed him there, and I think either Bayfield or Douglas, one of the two, before he had 2 terms in as the Attorney General before Brad Schimmel. So yeah, I'm excited. Don't know anything about him. I know he's going to be talking a lot about he's on that committee or the board or the part of that organization that's the Vote Safe Wisconsin. He co-chairs that with the current Attorney General Call, who's the other co-chair, and they have a whole bunch of other people. It's not a partisan, it's not a Republican or a Democrat thing. A lot of support. So he's going to come on and explain a whole bunch of things. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I ran into him at a gas station in Superior not too long ago during going up there for a hockey game before COVID, and talked to him in Superior for a while.
And he still remembered you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Were you in your uniform?
No, I was in my Red Warrior shirt because we were going to a hockey game.
Well, if you really want to support your son at local events, you should go in your uniform with your gun.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be happy.
So what are some of the...
Somebody on Facebook gave us, Jason Kennedy, he gave us threw confetti up in the air.
Oh, so, see, I can see that on this program.
See, I can see it on mine.
Oh, thank you, Jason.
He's a first responder with us. I know Jason, and just a big shout out to our first responders who do a heck of a job every week. Based on that, how's your dad?
Doing well, very well actually. He should be home this week, in the next few days. Yeah, he it's his story to tell, right? So whenever he's ready to do that, he can come on the show, or if he just wants to write something or put it on his Facebook page, that's fine. But it was maybe naively, we kind of thought, or at least I did, that, you have a heart attack, they do their thing, and you go home in a few days. Kind of find out that's not accurate. There's a process to it. And it was, I think that first week, they were even thinking it could be like a month before he comes home. And as of this weekend, they said, no, he's coming home this week. So he chopped off 3 weeks of his 4-week likely stay because Dad's stubborn. Yeah. And so he's doing exceptionally well. He should be home this week, start some recovery rehab stuff here locally at some hospitals. So we certainly thank everyone for their prayers and their thoughts. And, if you want to send more of those, just send it to us, Terry Dryden on Facebook. I suppose we probably don't want like a whole bunch of people calling home as soon as he gets home. It's let him just adjust again, and Mom too. I have a story. I forgot to tell you. So 2 weeks ago, which was 3 days after Dad's heart attack, you and I did our show, and Mom was with Dad, and he was just kind of coming out of being out of it for a few days. And she played the recording of it on Facebook, or on her phone from Facebook, and set it next to his pillow, next to his ear. And, he's still groggy, doesn't really know what's kind of going on. And she said every time that you and I laughed, he kept turning his head towards the phone and smiling. Like, I know those guys. I know those laughs.
So Dave Wilson doesn't get all the credit. I get some.
Yeah.
I don't want Dave Wilson to have all the credit.
Yeah, suck it, Dave.
No, again, we can't thank Dave, and we've talked about LifeLink and our first responders and our fire departments, and that's what it's about here in Barron County, and that's what we have to go on, and we had a busy weekend when it came to ambulances over the weekend. I mean, nothing real serious, but there was a lot of ambulance calls, and they support each other, and our first responders and our helicopters, and a lot of use of that over the weekend, and a lot of people were, saved by that stuff. And again, we got to get LifeLink on your show, and I'll help you set that up so they can talk about how many flights they do. It's just, the numbers are amazing, and it's just a really cool part of Northwest Wisconsin, and they cover Washburn and Barron, and they're stationed here in Cameron or Rice Lake Airport, so it's neat.
Awesome. I may take you up on that, because Mama just asked me this weekend about, you think it'd be okay if we got the one or some of the people that were on that LifeLink that took Dad to the hospital. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I think for one of her Diane's Kitchen show. I'm like, if you're not, we're going to have it on DrydenWire Live, or we'll just do both or something. I don't know. So, yeah, we're going to have somebody on at some point here relatively soon. So.
Right. No, well, I can help you with that. And
cool.
There's such a great group of men and women that work that aircraft and help our community out. It's pretty special to have here.
So what positive things have happened in your life in the last couple of weeks?
Not a huge amount, nothing real spectacular. I mean, I took last week off for the most part and did some things around the house, and we had a small graduation party for my daughter, and I know we're not supposed to have it, but we social distanced. We were outside. We limited the number of people that attended and things like that. So it was just a good showing and a good, way to at least have some sort of normalcy for my daughter who's a senior. So we got that all done and just kind of relaxed and did a few things and had a couple meetings and just nothing real spectacular. But
well, you were supposed to be, obviously we were talking about doing the show last week on Tuesday, so when I talked to you on Monday, you said, yeah, I can still do it on Tuesday. I'm not working. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, well, I'm taking a vacation, but I can go in. I'm like, okay, I don't know what you know what a vacation is, because I talked to you a little bit more, and you go in for a few things. I'm like, okay, I don't know I have the definition of vacation, but I'm pretty sure you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, probably,
stay home.
But it's... I love my job. I love doing what we're doing, and things like this are important to keep the people up to date on, really nothing major's going on. So that's kind of nice. We don't have a big update, so we're going to talk about some other things and have a little fun and just put some smiles on some people's faces. And that's what it's about, is just keeping people in the loop. But I had a county board meeting Monday night. We went to that, gave a little meth update, and just little things, but it was relaxing. And then I'm lucky enough to have a job where, I can take a day off here or there, and it still manages. I got a great administrative team to handle it.
Awesome. We're going to get to 10 myths and stereotypes about cops here in just a minute. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, I can imagine. But before that, we probably should discuss, obviously, COVID. Mm-hmm. Only because in the last couple of weeks, there's been a sharp increase. I think sharp would be the appropriate word for that in Barron County. We talked about COVID-19 last time, and I think I'd ask, is there any alarms going off yet? Is there any concern yet? I mean, significantly, like, okay, we're going to have to do something. It's been 2 weeks now, and these last 2 weeks have been pretty high increase. Now what's the discussion being had?
The same. We're monitoring it. Obviously we had another death, so that would be a third death now in Barron County, which is concerning to us. Now, they've all had underlying health conditions, but COVID didn't help any of that. So COVID is a cause of death or part of that cause. So it's something to be aware of, that it's serious enough to, we need to keep a sharp eye on this. We have a great public health team working on this, and we've seen some increases, but we've also seen those people that were positives become healthy again and back into the community. So we're working on that number. We had a sharp increase yesterday. I believe we'll get some more reasons why for that increase later today, I'm hoping. So that's important to us. But the idea of keeping our officers safe, our first responders safe is the first thing on my mind. So, we've given them all the proper PPE equipment to handle this and take care of this. But, so yes, while the numbers have gone up, I believe I heard this morning that Wisconsin's on a slight dip down, so that's good. But I think wearing the mask, social distancing, still having, being careful out there and being smart. And it's 15 minutes of direct exposure with someone that creates a higher risk with you. So limit your contact with people. Do stuff like this over the internet. While we love to be there and do this show together, it really hasn't made a huge impact difference. You and I being on a computer screen, except I probably look at the screen when I should be looking at the computer, a little bit more, and things like that, But so we're aware of it. There's been no new discussions. We meet every Monday as a COVID team, which includes Jeff French and our health and human services director, our public health director, a county board member, a county board chair, some office of aging. We're limiting the contact. A lot of things are being canceled. I get that, but I really want to ramp up August so that we can go back to school in September. I mean, that's my goal for Barron County and the kids of Barron County and the parents of Barron County, maybe even more than the kids. Is we need our kids back in school. We can limit the number. We can reduce our numbers. We can get a good handle on this. And let's get our kids back to school. That would be my goal for September.
I agree. Hey, I have a question. One of our viewers, or readers, or both, messaged me last week and said, when you talk with Fitzgerald on Tuesday, please ask him if it is illegal to conceal carry, even with a permit, when you have a mask on. And my first thought was like, what? Of course. You know what? I don't know. Maybe that is a legitimate question. Well, I think it's a legitimate question, but I mean, I thought it was like, yeah, well, of course you can. But what is the answer to that?
It is. I did look that up because I did get that. I also got a couple of those questions and you can do it. I mean, you have to wear a mask, and you can still conceal and carry. You just are asked to put your mask down to verify your identity if you're stopped or something by law enforcement. I don't remember how it exactly is, but there's nothing in the laws that stops you from doing that.
Yeah, because if they mandate masks and there's a lot of concealed carry, it could be a thing. And speaking of that, we put up a poll, excuse me, last Friday on Facebook, and the question was, Governor Tony Evers said Thursday that he was considering a statewide mask mandate, with the only thing holding him back would be the legal battle it would likely cause. So the poll question was, should Wisconsin have a statewide mask mandate? When I checked as of 3 o'clock this morning, there were 5,100 votes. And for the yes, we should have a statewide mandate, it was 2,300, so 47% yes and 53% no. I mean, it's pretty straight down the middle. What do you take away from that?
COVID has been a kind of a straight down the middle thing when it comes to masks. I mean, everybody's concerned about it. A statewide mandate, I don't know if that's necessary with all of our stores doing what they're doing. Most of the stores in Barron County are now mandating masks. When you go there, Farm and Fleet, Marketplace, Walmart, a lot of these chain stores have mandated masks, and so that's where you're seeing this contact of 15 minutes or more in a close contact, with maybe someone. I don't know. It'll be a lot of pushback and a lot of legal battles when I'd rather concentrate on COVID than the legal battle, and hopefully everybody can just be smart and start working on this problem as a whole so that we can get our kids back to school in September. And I think having a goal in mind is what's key to this. with COVID is like, let's look at the month of August is here on Saturday. Let's look at this. We got 30 days to get our kids back in school, or a little bit less even. Some schools might be starting before, the 24th or so of August. Let's look at this and let's get our kids back to school. And if that means I got to wear a mask in Walmart, whatever.
Yeah.
But let's quit harassing and picking on and yelling at the guy at the front gate of Walmart or Marketplace or wherever, saying, I don't want to wear masks. Then don't shop there. It's pretty simple. You don't like it. It's the right to refusal. Every bar, I remember years ago, every bar had a sign, we have the right to refuse service to anyone. Well, that goes with a store. People only think that's bars when it's serving alcohol. It's the right to refuse service to anyone for any reason, basically. And if you don't want to follow their policies of wearing a mask, then shop somewhere else or shop online or do what you want. But it's not the person at the front door creating the rules. Say, hey, you know what? I work at Walmart. I think I'm just going to have a mask mandate. I'm going to stand at the front door and tell everyone about it.
That'd be awesome, though, if they did.
Yeah. And we could have a show. We could videotape ourselves doing it. But so if you don't like it, don't go there. That's the rule ahead of time. I know there's some health conditions that people have, and then you have those health conditions. Get a doctor's note or whatever it is. But don't yell and scream at the guy at the front counter or the lady at the front counter. They're just doing their job, so knock it off and move on. But
that's what we talk about with DrydenWire that we've talked about before. People that complain about certain things or oppose it, if you don't like it, don't read it. I mean, it's fine. And you're right. If you don't want to wear a mask at Walmart, don't shop at Walmart. It's not that tough.
Right. And we've been getting a lot of questions the last couple of days on our Facebook page about, hey, can we shut off the comments? And first of all, I haven't found a way to shut off comments on a public site. And sometimes I don't really want to, because some of the people defend us, some of the people are against us, but you pick up a lot of support and you learn a lot by reading some of those comments. You're like, you know what, that's a good point. Maybe I can do that different next time, from a law enforcement standpoint or a statistical standpoint or something like that. So I learn a lot from this by some of these comments. So I appreciate the comments, but the ones that are swearing and calling people names, we block, and any swear words get automatically blocked on our Facebook. And we have banned people for calling out people and using slurs and different things, swear words, and said, that's not appropriate, and you're going to be banned, and you can go create a new account, I guess, and be someone else. I don't care, but
if you say it again, we'll ban that one too.
And if we do, but but somebody just put, you can't win either way, and I agree. You can't win either way on some of these, and we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, giving you the information, and read the information if you want to. If you don't want to read it, don't read it.
No kidding. Well, I have more things I want to get to, but we're already like halfway through here, and I want to get to these 10 myths and stereotypes about cops. So I want to get that. Okay. But I have one more question. Actually, just a quick note. When you said you haven't figured out how to ban about a year ago, I think up to a year ago, they made a change. But on Facebook, you could actually go and hide comments on a business page, but it would remove comments for all the previous ones and everything new. But I remember looking a few months ago, and that option isn't there anymore. But you do have the ability on a group page to do that, and you can actually select which post. But just a little information. How many questions or calls from either places, not specifically Walmart, but businesses, with maybe even just Walmart because of the mask mandate. Are you getting a lot more of these calls? And so what are those calls like, either from the business or from a person wanting to get in and not being allowed to because they don't have a mask?
A lot of those happen in the city. I did go on one a few weeks ago at a store in Rice Lake, and the person just refused to walked in, refused to wear it, and wanted to go check out. And we removed that person. They'd become banned from the store, and they can get a citation for disorderly conduct for creating that disturbance. So it's just a lot of work for law enforcement that's got other things to do than chase around masks. But again, we respond to this. It's called a disturbance because the store called and said, hey, this person refused, walked right by our security person or our person at the front door and refused to wear a mask. And then we have to go find the person in the store. We take them out. They don't get to purchase what they were there for. Just be more polite to people. Let's quit being so rude. Somebody just put, people are just plain rude lately, and I just think we've got to change that, and that's why we started doing this Positive Tuesday. We've just got to put a smile on our face and go live our life every day, and let's go make a difference and and have a little fun. So I guess that's where we'll get us into the myths.
All right. Well, let's get right to it. 10 myths and stereotypes about cops. So I came up with 10 things of myths and stereotypes. One of them, I asked, Dave Wilson, what he said. So he had a couple of them. And of the ones I just kind of curated from just like Googling myths and stereotypes about cops, different articles, and I just kind of pulled a few of them. So I'm going to start with an easy one. Number one, cops love donuts.
Yes.
That is a universal fact. Every single one.
Right.
Yeah.
We prefer a lot of other foods, but donuts is up there.
Number two, cops have a quota of arrests to meet.
No, quotas, you don't have quotas.
I don't know. Where do you think that comes from? Have you heard that before?
Yeah, the State Patrol used to have kind of a system, and this was years ago, and I don't know what their system was, but they used to have, I don't know if it was, I know it wasn't tickets, but I think it was stops, or contacts is what they called it, I believe, and it was, that mean a car on the side of the road to a person asking for directions. You had to have so many contacts. It got you out there into the business, and I like our people to have a lot of contacts, but we don't have a number or anything like that.
Well, I think one of the problems with probably having those contacts, I'm glad they don't do that anymore. Let's say it's over a 30-day period, and I get the idea showing that you're doing all these things. But, as soon as you have a goal or a number, it's easy to manipulate that and figure out how to make it look like you're really working just by looking at a piece of paper. Right. And I feel sorry for all those people that if it's like a 30-day quota and he's like 15 behind on the last day. And he's just driving around pulling people over.
No, we work about 160 shifts a year. A patrol person does in Barron County, and minus give or take sick days and vacation. But we say, there's no reason you can't have 100-ish contacts, 100-ish traffic stops, during that year. Which that's less than one a shift, and we should be stopping a car more than one a shift on most days of the week. So, we don't, but that's not a quota system. It's not anything like that, but that's just a number to put out there so that our people know that, hey, let's go out there and do some traffic. But all of our people meet those numbers by far. And it's so, but there is no quota system at all.
All right. Well, that actually leads kind of right to number 3 of our 10 myths and stereotypes about cops. Number 3, cops love writing traffic tickets.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Which is it? Yeah or no?
And if you look at our traffic stop data to our traffic stops to our citations, it's about 2 traffic stops for every 1 citation. So we don't write a lot of citations. We stop a lot more cars and then give a lot more warnings.
Hey, out of curiosity, about how long does it take? Let's say you pull someone over. Well, a few weeks ago, you were almost late to doing one of these shows because you had to pull somebody over, and I don't think there was a ticket written.
Right.
But when you pull someone over and you write a ticket, how many more minutes, how much longer does that take after the fact? Not just the actual, you're there behind the car and you hand them the ticket and write it all out, and then they pull away and then you leave. What do you have to do after that?
Yeah, well, a traffic stop start to finish is probably a good 15 minutes. You stop, you walk up to the car, you talk to the person. Hey, why were you speeding? Where are you headed? What's your story? Make sure they haven't been drinking, under the influence of drugs. You walk back, you run their 27 or their license plate through the system, through our dispatch center. You type it on your computer. You put the violation for speed. You print it out. You go up there. You explain the court date to them, and you go back to your car. So that's a 15 minutes. Then when you get done with that, you have to do a report on that so that when you go to court, you remember you could stop 5 or 10 cars in a day. 10's probably a lot, but some of our officers can stop 5 cars during a 12-hour shift pretty easy. That's less than 1 an hour, or 1 every 2 hours. And you got to do a report on that. So,
that's what I mean, like a report. You have to go back and then you have to write something for everything, right?
Exactly. So, about a half hour.
Jeepers. And I didn't know, you said when you pull someone over, you ask, why are you speeding? I haven't been pulled over in, 15, 20 years. If I recall, at least one I did, it was, do you know why I pulled you over? Isn't that what you usually ask?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you ask it that way?
Why do we ask? I ask, well, do you know how fast you were going?
Oh, how fast you're going.
'Cause,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's, or
Okay.
do you know why I pulled you over?
Yeah, that's when I got. I'm
Something.
like, I don't know how long you've been following me. I could think like 7 different things as to why you
Well,
pulled
because
me
I
over.
want to know if you're going to admit to it, because of
Uh,
the drugs in my back seat, or because I was speeding, and
it's,
Shasta
well,
wants to know if we really enjoy pulling people over for red cars more. No, just probably her because she drives a red car. Um, no,
oh yeah, I've
and
heard that too.
no, we don't pick colors. Um, I don't know. I think there's just a lot more red cars. Although I'm looking at our parking lot and I see a lot of silver and gray. So
Yeah, silver, gray, black, white, but red does stand out.
red stands out, but there's no, I don't believe there's any data on red cars. So I
Okay.
think we're okay.
All right, number 4 of our 10 myths and stereotypes about cops. Cops don't prevent crime; they only respond to it.
Well, that one's tough. And
Yes.
we do respond to crime, but I think we don't know what we prevent, and that's the trouble. From our school liaisons to our traffic, if I'm thinking about breaking into a car and I'm walking down the street and all of a sudden there's a squad car drives by, a marked squad car, and that's why we mark a lot of our squad cars, is because that's a prevention piece of law enforcement, is just being somewhere and like, well, I'm not going to break into that car now because I just saw a cop drive by.
Yeah.
Our job isn't to catch people; it's more of a prevention than it is anything than responding to them. We
Yeah.
have to respond, but I like prevention better.
Yeah. But it's tough because it's not really a measurable. Like as you
Right?
said, it's like, well, we don't know,
It's
but we know it's
very
working.
hard
We just don't know what level or degree. We can't really compare it year to date versus
until we
last year.
take it away, and you're not
Yeah.
going to know what we're preventing.
Yeah. Let's
And I
not
don't
do
want to
that.
take it away, and we're not going to get into that discussion.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. Number 5. Cops trample on people's rights.
No, we don't. That one's easy. That sounds like a Dave Wilson one.
Ironically, that was actually.
No,
That's funny that you got that one. Yeah. Yeah.
no, we don't people trample on people's rights. Everyone has rights, and if you think your rights are trampled, file a complaint against a police officer. We'll take you to court. The judge will determine if your rights are violated. If your rights are violated, you'll be found not guilty. It's as simple as that. So everything is audio and video recorded now. For the most part, on most of our traffic stops, we have body cameras and squad cameras. So that's a very, I believe we don't very to my heart on that one, because I believe in our officers and what they do out there, and they're out there to prevent crime, and we don't do that at all, and we have the video and audio to help us prove that.
All right. Number 6 on our top, well, I shouldn't say top 10. 10 myths and stereotypes about cops. Cops are racist.
No, that one's pretty easy too. I mean, I know with everything going on in the nation right now, it may seem like that, but we're not. We work with the different cultures around Barron County very closely, and again, something that I hold true and dear to me is our the equality and the image that our law enforcement officers portray in Barron County, and that one would be a big no-no here, and you probably wouldn't be working here if that was the case.
Well, there are, I mean, admittedly, I'm sure, and we've talked about this, nationwide, the cops, I don't know how many cops there are. Do you have any ballpark number on how many people are in law enforcement?
No idea.
Yeah, whatever that number is. And certainly there's going to be a percentage that do have those races. So, of course, yes, there's always bad apples, et cetera, but kind of just universally or specifically even for Barron County, no. Got it. Number 7, cops profile. Now, I didn't put in racial profiling, any profiling.
No.
Could be like a dumpy car or something, right? And it's like, I'm going to follow that one.
Yeah, well, but you're looking for traffic violations, and you can't just pull people over. They got to have a, failure to signal. They've got to have, if you look at, the reason Jake Patterson got pulled over. If you look at that case, he didn't have a license plate light, and there was another traffic violation for the reason he got pulled over. And so you look for those reasons, which are laws that we have to enforce, and some of them people don't like, and that's, again, we don't write the rules, we don't write the laws, we just enforce them. If you don't like the laws that are written, if you don't want to have Wisconsin is one of the few states that have front license plates. That's a law enforcement issue. I like to be able to read the license plate before, as I meet it, rather than go by after it turn around. So if you don't like having front license plates, change the law. I but you have to have a front license plate on your car in Wisconsin. So that's a rule. Some people don't know that. No matter if you have a fancy car with no front license plate bracket, you have to have a front license plate in Wisconsin.
Really?
So, and if you don't like it, tell Romaine and he'll change the law. I don't know if he'll change that one, but
He only has a few months left anyway. So
yeah, let's go big.
all right, number 8 on our 10 myths and stereotypes about cops. Number 8, cops lie for each other.
No. Again, with audio and video recording, that's going to be pretty easy to prove, and we wouldn't stand for that, and they wouldn't be working for the Barron County Sheriff's Department.
Number 9, undercover cops have to tell you they are cops if you ask them. Now,
No.
I was the one who actually wrote that one because I watch a lot of crime shows on TV, well, like Law and Order, everything else. I don't know. So I don't even know. So undercover cops have to tell you they are cops if you ask them.
Right? No, we do not.
Really? I didn't know that.
No. Yeah, that's part of being undercover. It's a safety thing.
It's part of being undercover. Yeah, otherwise they would just, that's true. Otherwise, every time you just talk to someone, are you a cop? Oh, okay.
Right. No, we don't have, there's nothing in the rules that, now we can't entrap you, but don't have to tell you we're cops. But if you offer to sell us drugs, that's a little different. So, but again, a lot of that is somewhat not video recorded, but a lot is audio recorded sometimes. Most of our undercover work has some sort of audio recording as best we can without putting somebody in danger. But we don't do a lot of cops undercover. It's not like the big city. We don't have an undercover unit. I mean, we have plainclothes detectives, but they're not really undercover. People know we're a small county. They know who all the cops are in Barron County.
Exactly.
You know who all the cops are in Washburn County. We're like, hey, what are you doing? Shh, don't tell anybody I'm not a cop. So
Yeah, it's a little harder in a small community.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we don't have undercover cops per se.
All right, number 10, cops can't get real jobs.
Oh, well, I think this is as real a job as it gets. So I think that's a really big myth. And, I love what I do. Our people that work here, I love what they do. And, it's just it's a good profession to be in Northwest Wisconsin. Maybe not everywhere in the nation today. But again, that's why I'm a cop here in Northwest Wisconsin, because we have the community support, the public support, and, we support each other and we get the job done together, whether it's COVID, whether it's a missing person, whether it's a tornado. We've shown the world how great it is to be a cop and be part of this community in Northwest Wisconsin.
That was another Dave Wilson one.
That was the Dave Wilson one?
Yeah.
He can't get a real job. Well, he's got a real job. He's the police chief in Shell Lake.
Yeah.
He must not be listening today. I don't see any comments.
No, I think Tuesday morning. I don't remember. No, he's a weird schedule.
He's busy. He's eating a donut.
Yeah. Well, he's also on the county board. He's on all these committees. I mean, he's never not working.
He's such a great guy. Yeah,
I like him. All right, those are the 10 things. I did think of one other thing earlier this morning when I was looking at the jail booking reports. I put up the Barron County weekly jail booking reports. And in the last 7 days, there were 26 people booked. At least this was at 4 this morning when I published it. 20 were men, 6 were women. So are women just not committing crimes? I don't know how I would put that into a myth or a stereotype, because I don't know if it is a myth or stereotype. But
I don't know if I think that's just a fact, or the women are better getting away with it than the guys, because we book in last year we booked in 526 female and 1,351 males. So, it's 3-to-1 males versus females. And so I don't know if they're not committing crimes, or they just talk us guys into committing the crimes for them, or what. So maybe they're just smarter than us guys.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Maybe women, like insurance. At least when I got my license all those years ago, insurance for me was higher than it was for my sister. I'm like, but why? I didn't get in an accident, didn't do anything wrong at the same age, and it was because I'm more likely to. So it's just one of those things. It's just kind of facts, man. Yeah. Guys commit more crimes.
Yeah, it's just what it is, and it's pretty over consistently about 3-to-1 over the last 10 years here in Barron County. I'm looking at our stats back to 2010. And it's pretty consistent, 3-to-1, wow. 3 males to every 1 female. So, so 6 is pretty high out of 20.
Yeah, no kidding.
Look at it.
Keep it up, ladies.
Yeah, yeah, we're coming for you.
All right, what else is going on in Barron County or at the Barron County Sheriff's Department the last few days or coming up this week? What's going on?
You know what? Not a lot coming up this week. Turtle Lake's got a neat thing next week. Turtle Lake Police Department has got a virtual national night out going on. Chief Gobby's got a neat virtual night out. I'm going to go over and help him with that.
Oh, cool.
Most national night outs are canceled because obviously we don't want to create this huge group of people. We get a couple hundred people at all of our locations in Barron County, and we want to keep people safe and again, get them ready for school. So that'll be our goal. We'll keep working on COVID. And we'll just, keep moving on and keep smiling today. And the sun's out. It's going to be a great week for weather. And we'll just keep, we see some of our officers. We just got some new footballs in. So we're giving a lot of neat little glow in the dark footballs that float in the water. So we've been stopping at the parks and giving out footballs and having a little fun with the kids out there. And hopefully the weather turns out to be pretty nice this week and we'll get back out to the parks.
Do you give one of those away for each ticket you write?
Yeah. It's a bonus. You get if I get 30 footballs out, I get a free toaster. That should have been a myth. A toaster. We don't give away toasters if you meet your quota.
Set a steak knife.
Never gotten a toaster in 30 years in law or 20 years in law enforcement. So.
Well, I would probably just again. I've never had a speeding ticket in my life, but if I got that football, I may have to take a run down to Barron, and speed down through Barron real quick. Anything you're looking for?
Expensive. Just stop and buy one. They're pretty expensive. A traffic ticket is pretty expensive now. The cheapest ticket's $170 or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty expensive. So.
Papers. Anything you have going on this week?
I don't think it's. Forward to? We're gonna just try to tackle this COVID and keep moving on here. And we've got not much crime going on. It was a pretty slow night, so I like that. I just want to thank everyone again and our teachers and our healthcare workers and everybody that's been doing stuff. I mean, I know a lot of schools had a mini summer school session, so again, appreciate everybody doing their part to make this healthy and do what's right out there for our kids. That's what it's about today. Is we've got to start making a conscious effort to support our schools and our administrators and whatever decisions they're making. I know I talked to a lot of our superintendents around here, and we've got to just come together and stop some of this complaining and some of this other stuff that's going on, and just continue to support. Everybody has knowledge. That from everybody has an opinion and is an expert in COVID, and none of us are, and we just got to keep moving forward and supporting each other, and we've just got to be more positive, and that's why I love this day. It's sun shining.
Yeah.
Started it off. Let's go have a little fun. Let's all just smile a little bit more today, and let's go make a difference.
Yeah, and everyone's entitled to their opinion, even though yours is wrong.
That's right. Yeah,
all right, man.
There's
Fitzy.
been some opinions on here. So.
All right, Fitzy, thanks so very much. As long as you don't take another vacation next week.
Yeah, we're in.
All right, we'll do next week. Thanks so much, man.
All right, take care.
Cool.
Be safe, everyone.
You've been watching A Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Embrace. If you or someone you know is experiencing intimate partner violence or sexual assault, it is not your fault. Embrace is here to help. For free, confidential advocacy and support, head to embracewi.org. I will be back tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. with my very special guest, first time on DrydenWire Live, former Wisconsin Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen. I'm Ben Dryden, so until next time, stay safe, keep your social distance, and have a blessed day.